Hello, 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 and Happy New Year. I'm Karen of Karen Shier Coaching, and I wanted to just pop in today before we got too far into January and just wish you a happy New Year. And I hope you enjoyed lovely holidays with your family, with your friends. I hope you did some really fun things. And just know that I'm sending out heartfelt and high energy thoughts to you today. And I just couldn't let this week pass without wishing you the very best for the coming new year. And my wish for you too is that your upcoming year flow with ease and grace, and that everything goes just like you want it, and that you live your life full of joy and happiness and abundance today and every day throughout this year and the coming years. So please know that I'm here and you are supported. And I just wanted to pass that message on. But also, I wanted to ask and maybe talk a little bit about what kind of year-end rituals do you do? I'm sure you're getting lots of emails from people on things that you can do at year end. And, there's lots of discussions, of course, at year end every year about setting resolutions, New Year's resolutions, and those kinds of things. But I was a little late to the party in that we'd been traveling over the weekends. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been traveling to family and this and that, like many of you are, I'm sure. And so I didn't get any of those year-end rituals done until starting this past weekend and the last day or two. So I kind of wanted to share with you something that I did and do and find really fun and therapeutic, and it's really great to release that energy from 2023 and also kind of move into the next year, move into 2024 kind of with clean energy and with sense of ease and flow, and looking forward to what's coming in this new year. 2024, I think, is going to be a big year for a lot of people. The energies are really high, and I think a lot of things are going to start happening. And so, I think it's really good to kind of assess how your things are going and make some little pivots if you need to. But one of the things I like to do, and I was reminded of this recently by my friend and mentor and coach and publisher, Linda Joy, and it is simply celebrating your successes. Consciously look back at 2023, look back at your year, and consciously celebrate the successes that you had. We've all had successes, and we don't often look back and really celebrate those. And so what I'd like to put out there and invite you to do is take a little bit of time and celebrate those successes. I can tell you, I'm a recovering taskmaster. So what I mean by that is I'm that person that old type A person that has a to-do list a mile long, and I just tick it off, tick it off, tick it off, tick it off, get it done. But I never used to stop and smell the roses, never used to celebrate my wins. I would just go on to the next thing. I'd get something off my list, I'd put a bunch of work and effort into it, check it off my list, and go next and start on the next thing. Often doing two or three things at a time. So I got a pile of work done, and I still do. But what I was reminded of is to stop and really celebrate those wins, really increase that energy. Give yourself credit and love and compassion and kindness for all the things that you've gotten done, and all the things that in your life that you've done, and even the things that didn't get quite done. You know what? Have compassion and know that there's always time to get those things done. But when you celebrate your successes, I went through this process the last day or two, and it's really neat to look back because there's so many things that you forget that you've done. And I've actually decided I'm going to try to go through this every month or 2 months and celebrate my successes from the last month or two, just so I can kind of get that feeling every year, or throughout the year, I should say. So basically, what I suggest is, get yourself in a space where you're not going to be disturbed. I did this in my office yesterday. I just closed the door and I got a candle, really nice candle that is very calming. I like to have my crystals around me. And I have this heartstone that I got from Sedona that means a lot to me. And so just having those things kind of physically in my presence tends to calm me down a little bit and just brings me good memories and just good feelings. And I just sat with my journal and I started writing down all my successes. Now, Linda challenged myself and some other clients to write down at least 25 successes that we had, but try to write more as they come to you. And I kind of I started this a little bit on a ride to Canada to see our family this weekend. And then I kind of really delved into it yesterday when we were home and I was able to kind of focus on it. But get them down on paper, really look at the successes that you've achieved through the year. Think about if you get stuck, if you get to number 10 and you get stuck, ask yourself, and what else? And just wait and see what drops in. And I kind of like to do this over a couple of days because you'll start to remember things and you'll remember things that you forgot as you went along. Um, and just kind of write those all down. Like I said, I was a taskmaster, so I get to the end of the year and I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I get done? But then when I really start thinking about it, it's like, oh my goodness, I had written a blog and had shared in my newsletter about buying and selling our house last year. And so from the last at least quarter of the year, last 4 months of the year, I was really involved and kind of had stepped away from my business slightly because I was getting a house ready to sell. Like I spent 12 weeks painting our house and our decks, and we were doing projects to try to get the house ready to sell, and then calling a realtor and getting it listed, and then had it under contract in 2 days and worked with a stager. And then we had to find a house to live in or to purchase, and going through all that took a lot of time. But when I look at just that whole transactional thing and all that I accomplished with that, and I had intentionally focused on how I wanted that to flow with ease and grace, and it did. And what was so cool was the fact that we since we consciously called this in, we surrendered and trusted that it was going to work just the way we wanted it to, and it did. It was such a great experiment in utilizing the law of attraction and all the knowledge that I have around these kinds of things, and really see it in action. And so looking back on that, it brings me a lot of joy. We actually made money on a house. We actually recouped all the money we put into this house. And then we found the house that I'm in now in a place right where we wanted. And it worked out just perfectly. So that was really cool. But when I look back, maybe you're an entrepreneur, so maybe you have your own business and things. It takes courage to be an entrepreneur. So that's a success. That's an awesome thing to look back on. I look back and I had some really great partnerships. I found someone that would help me with my website, that helped me really redo my website so it now has a lot of functionality and there's a lot of things I can do and a lot of things that I'm planning in the coming year. Prior to that, I didn't have that opportunity. I had lots of partnerships with new people that I met, people that have come into my life this year. I'm considering a podcast. I wrote my blog. I'm doing some things that I never in the past thought that I would ever have the courage to do. Um, even not just big things, little things that you do. Celebrate those successes. I celebrate the friendships that have maintained for me, the deep friendships that I've had for years, and the people that I'm with, and the uplifting people that I'm around. It's the little things. It's the little things too. Like if you get up in the morning and you focus on your workout, or you focus on going for a walk every day, and you accomplish that most of the time. Celebrate that success. That is so awesome. So here's what I'd like you to do is celebrate your successes and celebrate the successes of 2023, the previous year, and really get into that feeling space when you look back over your list. um, you know, pick out those items that you might say, wow, I remember the time when I didn't even think this was possible. I started my YouTube channel. I never thought I would do that. I never thought I had the courage to do that. So, and now it's done, it's behind me, and now I can just play with it and do more videos and things and share them with the world. We sometimes forget that we overcame something and or learned something. Even in a difficult situation we had, maybe we learned something positive from that. So I celebrate you. I want to say Happy New Year. I hope you'll take some time, give yourself the space, give yourself the permission to take an hour, take it 2 hours, whatever it takes, and just sit down, shut the door, put on some nice music, and celebrate your successes from 2023. And I will be back with another video about how to close out the energies of the current year, move into the new year, and some suggestions and things that might help you beyond just setting resolutions, that might help you face your new year in a positive and fun way. Anyway, that's all for now. Happy New Year, and I will see you very soon. Thanks so much.